Greetings, I'm here to do my debrief on my grand concealer project. I have been playing with concealers for I think about 2 weeks now, and I have some things to report. Let me start with my failure. My failure was Vapor Organic Beauty Concealer. And I tried everything. I tried everything I could think of to make it work. It pained me because I do like their foundation, their stick foundation. Although, I have to say, this last week I have been alternating between my samples of Cowgirl Dirt and Vapor Beauty, and Cowgirl Dirt just outperforms it, particularly in terms of moisture. By the end of the day, my skin is still looking good with the Cowgirl Dirt. The Vapor Beauty begins to dry a little, so I don't know. I probably won't be going the route of Vapor Organic Beauty, but I know I won't do their concealer. The concealer did absolutely nothing for me. Tremendously nothing. I'm not sure why. Another one I would give a C to it is this My Shell. It is just okay. The color is not quite right for me. It's moisturizing, and for that reason I like it. But in terms of coverage, it doesn't do extraordinarily well, and it doesn't wear extraordinarily well. So I like it for the moisture and have used it before for that purpose. I think in the early to late spring I was using it, but others work better. Let me talk now about some concealers I did like. One that I ended up liking a lot was Cowgirl Dirt. However, the Cowgirl Dirt concealer I can't use on its own. It's a little too thick, a little too dry, a little too dark. But I did find that it played well with others. I mixed it in with my 100% pure Superfruits Eye Balm, and I could mix it in with that and a little bit of some sort of lighter pigment. I've been using all natural face pigments, but I also mixed it in with some of the Fusion of Color correctors, and it worked really well. So in that sense, I can make Cowgirl Dirt work for me, and so it's a possible concealer. The one I ended up liking the best is one I just sort of made up. I have to say it's not perfect because it doesn't wear well, but it certainly goes on well, and I like the texture it gives me, and I like that I can play with whatever shade I want under the eye. I was using the All Natural Face Vegan Foundation in Olive Pale. Olive Pale isn't my color, but I do find that it's a good highlighting color for me. I mixed the All Natural Face with this Shea Terra Argan and Green Coffee Eye Serum. And when I would put the two together, I end up with something like a little paste. It looks about like this. And you can see I can make it light. It goes on creamy. Love the texture under the eye. Big problem, doesn't last. So I get to about noon and I need help. However, I did find two products that play well with it that I can tuck into my purse. One product is this one I got from Georgina, the Moshe Chic. She sent this to me from the UK. And this is the Oon Beauty Intuitive Touch BB Cream Concealer. I did find that I could tuck this in right in that area during the day when it started to fade. By itself, it's too dark. However, with this much lightness under my eye, I can touch up with it and it works, and it's not drying me out over all of the oil that I'm putting on. So that's one I could use for a touch-up. A second thing I really liked for touch-ups, just to keep in my bag, is this Gabriel color from Whole Foods. I just picked it up on a whim. Here it is going on. You can see it's nice and light, which is good. It does not cover for me. It's one that spreads, no matter how much you tap it in, it really wants to dissipate. But for a kind of touch-up concealer, this works. So I've been keeping these two in my purse, and I'm using those to touch up. Although in the morning, I have been using my little Shea Terra trick with the pigments. The other pigments I used with that, and they work really, really well, are Fusion of Color. And I want to talk about the Fusion of Color a little bit longer anyway, because I am finding I'm using a lot of those products. One thing I reach for quite often is the light yellow corrector. The light yellow corrector is too dark for me. It's too intense, but I just mix it in with one of their light foundations. And I use this to set. There it is. And you can see that gives me a nice light appearance. Used very, very lightly, this does not collect in wrinkles, which I appreciate. I couldn't put it really close up to the eye, and I wouldn't layer it on by any means, but I've been impressed that I've been able to wear this, because in the past, say like Bare Minerals or something, can't use, like well rested around the eyes, can use this. It also does a great job on my age spots right here, and those are quite difficult to cover. The other thing I've really been enjoying from Fusion of Color, from their corrector kind of eye products, is the highlight color. It's got just a little bit of sheen. I have been using that under the brow bone. I don't have it on today. They have this color called Awake, and I find this is one I use. I use it under the brow bone. I use it in this corner. I use it here. It doesn't grab my crepiness. It doesn't grab my wrinkles. These are really, really nice products. I ordered a couple of more of them to try, just samples. I do have a product called Bright Eyes, which is just the purpose of it is to brighten the eye. I think the reason it doesn't work for me is it's a little bit more of a salmon color. So if you're somebody for whom a salmon color corrector works, Bright Eyes is probably going to work for you. But I know I will be ordering the light yellow concealer. I know I will be ordering the highlight, and I know I am going to be ordering this color Awake. Those are just a few of the Fusion of Color products that I will be going back for. In terms of having correction around the eye and things that cover, it's the line I would turn to. That is it for my debrief on my concealers. Just to recap, Shea Terra, this Argan Green Coffee Eye Serum, I find really mixes well with the pigments and allows me to make a little paste that I can put down during the day for touch-up. In terms of natural concealers, I like this Gabriel Color and this Un Beauty. I do like Cowgirl Dirt. I can imagine getting that, although I'll have to work with that. And I do enjoy this All Natural Face Vegan Foundation in Olive Pale. That, I think, was my favorite color to mix with. Even though Fusion of Color has all those correctors, and I haven't tried all of them by any means, and I'll be trying those and mixing them in with my little Shea Terra serum to see what kinds of things I can come up with. But in general, I was really pleased with this All Natural Face Olive Pale shade. That's the one that I thought worked best for me. I did try mixing pigments in with cream. I did try mixing pigments in with Skin Savior, because that's something you're supposed to be able to do with One Love Organic Skin Savior. None of that worked particularly well for me, with the exception of mixing Cowgirl Dirt in with the 100% pure Superfruits Eye Balm. But other than that, that kind of mixing pigments with creams, or mixing these mineral products with creams, didn't work. The texture was off. The texture was wrong. Mixing it with this little serum did work quite well and gave me the texture I like, gave me the color I like, gave me the coverage I like. However, didn't give me the lastability. So, feel like I have my concealer natural finally. It has taken forever. Now, of course, I have to go back to Project Concealer Pan and alternate between these natural products and the unnatural backlog of concealers, none of which work particularly well for me, but I kept trying and trying and trying. So I have more concealers on hand than anybody should. And at some point I might just get tired and start pitching them and say, well, it was an expensive mistake, but there you go. It's Saturday. It's a gorgeous day here. Not much happening. We're going to try and catch up with life, which is about what we do this point in the semester. The track is on, so maybe we'll go watch some horse racing and just get out and enjoy the sights and sounds of the track. But I suspect I will be grading papers. I am, however, going to do a video on the Firenze colors that I got in, so that I will definitely do. That'll give me something to look forward to. But I have to do some other things first. Thank you so much for watching. Make it a great, great weekend. Bye.